Hello, everyone, and welcome to the results of our 2022 Tutorial Jam. I'm David Morgan. You might remember me from the 100 Days of Code or the launch of the Tutorial Jam 2 weeks ago. Either way, welcome back, and let's see some results. Now, the Tutorial Jam went very, very well. Some fantastic submissions, and I've already seen in the chat a few people didn't enter because they had stuff going on. I'm sorry, but there'll be more opportunities for stuff like this in the future, and we get to see some great stuff today. And I really mean that, honestly. I was a teacher for 20 years. Some of this stuff made me weep with joy. Well, not quite weep with joy, but you get the idea. It is really, really good stuff. And I'm sure you'll have a great time going through it and seeing the amazing stuff that was built during this jam. So, Tutorial Jam 2022, the results are going to be from in reverse order. Let me start again because that didn't make a lot of sense. I'll be talking through the results in reverse order, and we will be joined by a few guests today to talk about some new learning content that's going to be available for everyone. So, what was the Tutorial Jam? Hopefully, a lot of you here are here because you participated or you enjoyed the live stream a fortnight ago. I certainly enjoyed the recording. I probably could have natted away for a good couple of hours. But the Tutorial Jam, what it was a challenge for you to build one tutorial in one REPL using the new tutorial feature. Now, the .tutorial feature is what we've used for 100 Days of Code, and it allows you to embed a tutorial pane and a floating video in any REPL at all. So this is really, really useful, even if you're just putting a README in your REPL or you're building a template. They are fantastic things to use to see that sort of thing. You were tasked with teaching one exciting concept or one skill, and you had to use the video pane in an interesting way. It had to be a complete project or lesson and published to the community. So let's have a look. But before we get into that, thank you to everyone that entered, even the person that submitted day 6 of 100 Days of Code as their entry. Seeing my own little face pop up in the corner was a bit of a shock when I had a look at that one, I can tell you that. But for everyone that entered and for everyone that went to all the effort of building such brilliant concrete tutorial materials, you've all got a skill in it. It was very, very nice looking through and judging that quality of work. So thank you very much. Now, the judging panel comprised of us in the education team, as well as the reps for EDU, who are mostly teachers or educators who got involved in that as well. So we've got a broad range of marks from a broad range of people. Let's see how we scored, because I wouldn't be a teacher if I didn't tell you what the marking criteria was. But these were the areas that we were looking at, and these were the things that we were looking to give you a grade on and a score on. The first was the theme. The theme, you remember, was those who can teach. So the more you taught something that you were good at, the higher the mark in that section. Clarity, how well you explained your point, how well I felt that we took on the understanding from your tutorial at the end. Innovation, did you do anything cool, exciting? Was it in an interesting way, or were you just teaching Hello World again? I say that, there's nothing wrong with teaching Hello World, but we wanted something cool from this particular tutorial. Pedagogy, which is the fancy word we use in education for talking about how you taught. So was there any sign of you thinking about how to break it down nicely? Did you teach it in an interesting or an exciting way? Then the time scale, it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, it felt about right for the time you invented it. Remember, this is only one REPL, so you probably wouldn't want to have been there for 20 or 30 hours doing it. And finally then, use of the .tutorial function and the video pane. Now, you didn't need to use the video pane if you didn't want to, but there were scores for using it and using it in a good way. So let's start with my special mentions category. Because the special mentions were tutorials that didn't win the top 3 prizes, but will get some Replit merch from us because we were impressed with one feature or one particular thing that was quite good about it. The first Tutorial Jam special mention prize is the Something Unexpected prize. And that is because at the end of it, there was something unexpected that we saw. And this goes to Shifty Boo, who wrote the Bash tutorial. And we'll have a look at that in a minute, but congratulations to Shifty Boy. You be getting some Replit merch for your special mention, and you'll be able to use this graphic within your REPL as it's published if you want to. But what was nice about this was teaching something that traditionally people often feel is a bit dry. Now, pull over our Bash tutorial. I'll fork it so we can take a look at it. And of course, when you go to see these from the Learn page, you'll just be able to click fork tutorial and you'll get a copy of it straight away. But you'll notice here, the first special mention doesn't actually use video, but what it does do is teach Bash in a really, really nice way. Now, Bash is one of those things that as a programmer, you think, you should really learn that at some point, and you do try and put the time into it, but it's something that doesn't always go to the top of your list. But there's so much good stuff in this Bash tutorial, and actually, I used it with a friend of mine who is new to programming and has been saying to me, can you teach me some Bash? Can you show me some stuff? And I sent them this, and they were really, really pleased with how much they got out of it and felt they could go and do some useful stuff. The Bash tutorial is really, really nice, and it's a very unexpected thing to be taught in a tutorial. So well done to Shifty Boo for submitting something that's very unusual that we got a lot from. You get Replit merch. Well done. The next special mention, and we did go a bit overboard with special mentions, so we've got a few of these, is creativity. Now, one of the things you get a lot with programming tutorials is people tend to be very practical about it. Here's a way of doing this. Here's a way of achieving that. It's much less common that you get a tutorial which is just, here's how to do something creative and something exciting. And this tutorial was particularly good at that. Creating art using TurtlePython by, do I pronounce it or say it? TGGGSX, the user, was a brilliant tutorial which really gets you into drawing festive things with Python Turtle. There is brilliant use of video in that. Let's take a look at this one. By the way, I got the art for this, so I do apologize. We needed art to publish them. And I just used DALL-E. That's why the turtle looks a little bit more like a tortoise. So apologies. So you'll see this user's got a really nice tutorial in using Python Turtle to draw some cool stuff. But the thing that I liked most about it was the video. And you can see there that I'm halfway through it because I was showing somebody earlier on, but it is an hour and a half tutorial here going through how to build something really, really cool. And at the end of it, you are able to build something really nice and festive out of it. It's very unusual that we get tutorials that are all about creativity. So to the user TG, however you say it, big congratulations to you. You'll be getting some Replit merch. It was a really fantastic submission, and it was really nice to see that level of creativity in a tutorial. Our next special mention award is We Love Marg, because if anybody ever submitted a tutorial that made me really want to watch the rest of this stuff, it was this user. Marg Myers, I'm saying Myers, probably butchering the pronunciation, Marg, so apologies for that, has Getting Started with CMU Graphics, which is a fantastic tutorial. But more than anything else, it is the charisma and the entertainment value of the presenter that really made me want to give some points to this. And we all talked about this in when we were doing the scoring. It is so much fun to watch Marg talk about what she's passionate about and really go through it in a lot of detail about how to build something cool. The tutorial is amazing as well. But if there's somebody I've ever wanted to watch the rest of her videos, it was Marg. So Marg, thank you very much. Fantastic tutorial. And it does take you through building some really cool stuff with graphics, with CMU graphics there, and building simple shapes and styles and things like that. So this award was for charisma, if nothing else. What a fantastic presenter. We're going to take a little pause now. We've got two more of these special mentions before we get into the final three that won monetary prizes. But I wanted to flash back to EdgeFest. Last time we did Tutorial Jam, last time we talked at the Tutorial Jam, we had a presentation from James Abela about his curriculum that was all about Python. Base 58's curriculum will be publishing on Monday, and they have a fantastic curriculum all about getting started with Bitcoin. So I'm going to bring them up now to have a little chat and tell us all about why theirs is a lot of fun. The winners of our curriculum jam at EdFest were Base 58. It's Nifty and Cody, and I've got Nifty with me today. Hello, Nifty.
Hey, how's it going?
They did a fantastic job at producing a curriculum all about Bitcoin. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I'd love to, David. So the course that we built for Replit is about getting started with Bitcoin. It's a pretty cool introduction to using Bitcoin on the command line. You start off by building one of your first Bitcoin transactions. Then it kind of progresses to figure out how to, integrate a Bitcoin node into a website so that you can receive Bitcoin payments. We've also got some pretty cool stuff about cryptographic hashes, which is important to know about Bitcoin when you start getting into the technical aspects of it. And we're really excited that Replit wanted to kind of feature our curriculum as one of the jam winners.
Yeah, thank you for building it for us. Well, I've had a lot of fun. I'm a bit of a Bitcoin noob, so I had a great fun going through it and trying it for myself. Now, this is something that's going to really appeal to teachers and students because it is something that's used in the real world. But of course, a lot of the concern is Bitcoin is quite expensive, so dealing with that as like a real thing is a problem. But you've got quite an innovative solution, haven't you? You've got your own custom Bitcoin network to solve that problem.
Yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit about that. That's so in Bitcoin, and you'll learn about this when you take the class as well. But I of course, happy to give you a kind of a short preview. With Bitcoin, there's the main network that has like the real value, and that's what you trade, etc. But Bitcoin also has this way of having networks that are like test networks. So for Base 58, we built, Cody and I together built this really great thing called the SIG network. That's Base 58's own, and we built it especially for Replit. So all the Replit exercises will be able to use it. It basically makes it such that you can make real Bitcoin transactions using the testnet or SIGNet Bitcoin from the Base 58 SIGNet. So you can send it to your classmates, and all of you are on the same network. You can go to the Block Explorer, as we call it, and see all of your transactions in a really like public test forum. And so this will let you kind of send and receive Bitcoin that doesn't have a value between everyone else who's taking the class, which is really fun, I think.
Oh yeah, and when I was playing with it, it's so nice to actually be able to do something live like that. And of course, the fun of the blockchain is that all the records are there permanently, aren't they? So you can see them going straight in. I think it's great. So thank you so much for building this.
Yeah, of course. Super glad to be able to get it out there and get it into lots of more coders' hands and get a lot more people like learning about how Bitcoin works and how they can accept payments on their own with their own infrastructure, because Bitcoin's all about people knowing how to send and receive payments on their own. And hopefully this will help get developers more into the Bitcoin ecosystem. So we're really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, I can't wait for people to be using it and start giving us feedback on it. It's going to be great. But for those of you that are interested, and I would honestly recommend everyone goes and gets this, you'll need Teams for Education. And if you go to the Curriculum Hub, you'll be able to import the Base 58 curriculum from Monday. So that's quite exciting. Get that going with your students for your after school club, or even use it in your lessons. It's a lot of fun, honestly. Brilliant. So Nifty, thank you for joining us.
Cool. Thank you, David.
Bye. And I will just say, honestly, if you are a student, if you are a teacher, this is a brilliant thing to get from the Curriculum Hub, because the Bitcoin network that they've set up is entirely for us at Replit and is completely free to use and has no monetary value. So if you're a teacher and your students are interested in crypto, it's a great testing ground and a playground to let them see and experience it without having to worry about money or getting permission and things like that. If you're a student who's interested in crypto, well, it's an easy way to play around with it, with the entire blockchain network, and see how that works. That will be launching on Monday in the Curriculum Hub. So if you are in a school that's teaching through Teams for EDU, or you're a teacher using Teams for EDU, go get a look at that, import it, and give it a go with your students. The next special mention prize, which remember gets some Replit merch, I've titled Sneaky Sneaky, because I really loved, and the team really loved, the outcome of this, which is, if I can click in the right window, learning steganography. hope I've said that right and not just embarrassed myself in front of everyone, by Tertimo. And again, I'm reading out usernames here. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing them. Do correct me in the chat if I'm doing it really badly. But what we really liked about this one in particular was the end result and what you do with it, because steganography is putting data into a hidden format, in this case, embedding text in images in a really sneaky way. It's a little bit like hiding data in plain sight. The video is nice and short and to the point, very well edited to talk through the concepts. The tutorial itself is a lot of fun, and the code allows you to go through, hide, and extract messages within an image. What I like about this is I like the idea of people trading images back and forth with a hidden message in them. And it's a great one-off lesson. If you're a teacher and you're thinking, I'd like a message to deal with the point of encryption, that is a great thing to have there. We love the sneaky nature of it. We love the output that came there. So thank you, Tertimo. You're going to get some Replit merch as well. The final special mention prize is an amazing project. The quality of the project generated here was absolutely fantastic. And it's a socket.io tutorial by Tech Panda Pro, who I think I've seen in the chat. So hello, Tech Panda Pro, well done. Again, special mentions, we're getting some Replit merch for this. Let's take a look at the socket tutorial. What we liked about this was genuinely what you build. There is an end result of this where you're building a multiplayer feature in JavaScript, very similar to what we use in REPLs. It's really nice. The video is nice. It's clearly broken up into sections with good commentary, good understanding. The project itself is actually quite complicated to build. There's a lot of code that needs to be put in, and it's actually quite a complex feat. And as soon as you get to the point where you're doing multiplayer cursor app detection, we were excited by that. So well done, Tech Panda Pro. We thought this was absolutely fantastic, and we hope you enjoy your Replit merch when you get it. Before we go to the top 3 winners, though, before we get there, we wanted to make an announcement because we are partnering up. Collaborating is the better word, sorry. We are collaborating with a few other organizations to bring new learning material to you on the Learn page. So as well as the tutorials we'll talk about today and the winners and the special mentions from Tutorial Jam, in the next couple of weeks, you'll also see more content appearing on the Learn page. It's not just going to be a bunch of tutorials for new coders. It's going to be interesting stuff for everyone. One of the companies that we are collaborating with is Bloomtech. So I'm going to bring Bloomtech onto the stage now to have a chat and tell us all about what they're doing with us on the Learn page. I'm here now with Josh Nell from Bloomtech. He's been a developer for 15 years and now he heads up their curriculum efforts. Hello, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing great, David. I'm super excited to be here.
Fantastic. Now, you at Bloomtech have got some exciting news for us, haven't you?
We do. We're really excited because we've been working really hard on some new curriculum, and we've decided that Replit's an incredible platform to launch off some of this new content. So we're pushing the envelope a little bit. We want to challenge new engineers, new potential backend engineers with some Java code. And usually when you get into some beginner tutorials, it can be a little nerve-wracking, but we want to challenge people to go, you can do hard things. And so we're not going to do just your normal hello world, which there's no hate on that. Like, that's how I learned. But we're actually going to be building a sketch app with everybody.
That sounds pretty cool. Now, you were some of the first people that can be building proper curriculum for our Learn page, which is quite exciting. And it is going to be a nice opportunity for learners because it's jumping straight into something actually meaty and actually exciting. Can you give us a bit of a taste, a bit of a hint of what's to come?
Yeah, I'd love to. We've got some REPLs ready. Now, mind you, this is in development. But let's share screen. Okay.
Go for it. This looks quite cool.
Yeah, so here it is. This is the drop. This is day one. But the idea is that in day one, you're going to be able to build a drawing board of the sketch app. And so you might be going, okay, that's pretty cool. But as a new developer, if you saw the actual files behind this, you'd be like, what? What? But the reality is we'd be making a couple edits to this. You'd be following along with our tutorials, and you'll be able to build this really cool view of the canvas board. So that's fun. But then what are we going to do in day 2 or day 3 or day 4? Well, we're going to be building like a starburst so that the mouse can follow you. And this is you.
Oh, that's quite cool. I want to get my hands on that already.
Yeah, super fun. And you'll feel the power of drawing with Java, which is really cool because usually in Java as a backend language, you're not using a lot of front end. But this is really fun. And then as you get further into the course, you're going to be able to run, we'll see, of course, when we're doing live things, it always breaks. But you'll be able to go down the path, here we go, and actually write this down. Now, here's the thing is like, it's not much of a sketch app if you can just do lines. So let's jump to the end. And this is what it'll look like at the end of the course. After the end of these 9 days, you'll be able to build this is so cool. This is automatically generated by you, these circles.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You'll be able to jump over and pick a color. And then as soon as you let go of the mouse, it'll draw the lines. You'll learn about events and conditionals in Java programming. You'll be able to clear your board. So you'll be building an interactive button using inheritance patterns for all these different colors swatches. So you're going to be feeling really cool by the end of this and having this really awesome sketch app. So yeah, that's kind of what
this is amazing. Like. This is properly like building an entire Paint app, isn't it? In a few lessons. Is it 9 lessons you've got to teach this?
Yeah, we're starting off with 9 lessons for this course, and of course we'll have a welcome, an intro to like get your feet wet, and then we'll dive right in and start building this thing.
And this is going to be free for our users, isn't it? This is going to be something that anybody can enroll in and learn from.
That's right, and this is brand new content. So this isn't content that we've had sitting on the shelf and we're just making it work for Replit. We built this with this platform in mind, so it's going to be really fun.
And of course, the nice thing about our tutorial panes and sort of the course overview feature is it can track your progress. It can teach you everything you want on platforms. So you don't need to leave the code editor to read the instructions or watch the videos. And you will be able to produce something amazing like this in Java. And I have to say, Josh, Java is a language that I love dearly. It's one of the first programming languages I learned, and it's sort of like the dream of the 90s kept alive. That's sort of what I mean. Yeah, but it's lovely to see. Thank you so much for building this. I'm sure our learners are going to love jumping on this. And this is coming soon. So this is not going to be out now, but it's going to be out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, our goal is the next couple of weeks. We'll probably stagger, get some of the lessons out so people can start playing with them, and we'll get the full course in within those weeks. But it's a priority for us, so we're really excited for people to try it out.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try it myself.
Awesome.
Josh, thank you very much for showing us that sneak peek at what Bloomtech are bringing to the Learn page on Replit. And thank you very much for all the efforts you're going to.
Yeah, of course. We really believe, I mean, this isn't just like business speak or something where we're talking about those things. We really believe that people can change their lives through technology. So this is part of that effort and part of our mission. And of course, at Bloomtech, if you go through this content, you're like, wow, this is really cool. We've got more. And our backend engineering program is one of the best. We have 100% right now. This won't be forever, but we love it. But right now, we have 100% of people that have graduated the backend program have got a job. And the median income is $120,000. That's crazy. That's
absolutely amazing.
We don't see that normally. We've backwards designed this content from an Amazon program that we've been working with. So if you're ready for Amazon, you're basically ready for anything in the Java environment. And so that's why we're trying to make this 9 days representative of like, hey, you can really do hard things. This is really fun.
Josh, thank you so much. I'll let you go now, and we'll go back to the tutorial jam results. Thank you very much.
See you, everybody.
Seriously, when this comes out, take a look. Bloomtech are not the only collaborator that we've got working with us to make the Learn page a bit more meaningful for everybody, not just new coders. We've got 100 days of code there. We've got all the tutorials from the tutorial jam there right now. It wasn't a mistake, don't worry. We did publish them early because I felt a bit guilty about making some developers get up early on a Saturday just to push out a PR to pop some tutorials on the page. So we did it yesterday, sneakily, because we wanted it to all be there. But you won't know what the order is. You might see what the top 3 are, but you won't see which order we're doing it in. But please feel free to go to replit.com/learn, take a look at the winning tutorials, have a play around, learn some cool stuff. You'll also see in the next coming weeks some more content from our collaborators, and this is more like 100 Days of Code. These are complete courses, not just one tutorial. They'll be pulled together in a course overview page, and you'll be able to track your progress. So more cool content coming soon. But you probably didn't come here to listen to me talk about cool content from collaborators. You wanted to learn who won the prizes. Well, third place with $250 as the prize is a fantastic piece of work. Put too many clicks on this, didn't I? From Matt Destroyer, which was Intro to JavaScript. Now, you might think, hold on, Intro to JavaScript? You were just saying that like Hello World and stuff wasn't particularly an interesting one. And take a look as to why we thought this was a brilliant piece of work. Now, this tutorial, on the face of it, you think, oh, Intro to JavaScript, I've seen a million of them. Well, there's no video component, which would have made it more highly marked. But have a look at what Matt has done in the web view. And I think this is fantastic. For all the questions and all the tests that you've got to write and all the assignments you've got, you can get them and test them here within the web view. And I think this is really, really powerful. For instance, if I load challenge 5, it's giving me some feedback straight away. We were blown away by this. We were blown away by the fact that Matt combined the testing and everything into a web view to make this an almost seamless experience. We're really pleased with this, and Matt, you should be really pleased with this as well. Third place to Matt for this fantastic JavaScript tutorial that uses the web view in a really, really neat way. That is on the Learn page right now if you want to go and take a look at it. $250 is your Matt. Well done. Second place with a prize of $500. So we're not talking jump change here. These are good prizes for these things. Now, this was a particularly interesting one, particularly good. Flappy Brick by Hodges Online. Now, the fact that it's called Flappy Brick in the first place entertained me because that's the level of my sense of humor, I think. But there's some really good content here in Flappy Brick. So if we fork the REPL, take a quick look at it. And of course, all this stuff is on replit.com/learn if you'd like to go and have a look. We've got a really clear video that goes through setting up and building a game in Pygame, which is essentially Flappy Bird, but with a brick. The video content is great and thorough, not too long, 37 minutes from nothing to building a complete game, and gives us the code as we go with some sensible lessons, some good illustrations. Like one of the key things, of course, when you're doing game development is the grid referencing and remembering that 0, 0 is the top left and they increase going across and going down, things like that, things that people often overlook when they're talking about these details. And we really like the use of the answers hidden away in the spoiler tags like we've used in 100 Days of Code. So it felt very natural to us as to how the progression of this worked. This scored very highly on pedagogy, which is the technical term for how the learning is constructed. It scored very highly on the end result, and with lots of stuff like looking at the errors you get. It is just a lovely tutorial and a lovely way of combining all this together and good use of everything. So we thought that was fantastic and a really, really, really nice way of learning about Pygame and building a meaningful piece of work in about 40 minutes. So Hodges Online, brilliant. I'm saying Hodges. I'm putting that D in. I apologize for mispronouncing names and usernames, always difficult to pronounce. But congratulations. That was a well-deserved second place. Wait till you see the first place, because all we've seen today has been fantastic. And I'm sure you'll agree. Each and every tutorial we've looked at today has been immense. First place, though, $750 as the prize. What could win? Well, I'm sure if you had a sneak over to the Learn page, you might have guessed by now. But the first place, the thing all the panel thought deserved the top prize, was sorting algorithms, bubble, merge, and insertion by Apollo Crew 6. Now, before we take a look at it, you might be immediately averse to that, going, sorting algorithms. That's a really dry topic. And in many ways, this is why this has won. Because teaching sorting algorithms, and they are really useful things to know, is quite a difficult and dry topic to teach people. And in this tutorial, it's done in a really neat way. And more than that, there's one great hack that really, really impressed us. Let's fork this REPL and take a look. When the video pane pops up, you'll see immediately why we decided this was something special. Because in that video pane, that ain't a video. That is a web page. That is an interactive visualization of the sorting algorithm. And it's really nice to have that up and on top of the rest of the content when you're trying to teach or learn about something like a sorting algorithm. If you're my age, when you learned about sorting algorithms in the late 90s, you were reading textbooks and trying to look at diagrams where people have tried to skimp on printing costs, and there's not a lot of explanation there, and it was really hard to learn. Nowadays, we look at YouTube videos, but again, the examples they give, there's only a finite amount of them. I've made sorting algorithm videos myself. This, having the interactive sorting in there where we can play it and we can see exactly how like a bubble sort would work as I'm reading about it in the tutorial pane, as I'm coding on it, really blew us away. We liked the hack, we liked the utility of it, and we liked the way in which the tutorial has explained and nicely dished out some key ideas. We were particularly impressed with this. Here are some examples of day-to-day algorithm stuff where not only have you got some nice GIFs in it, but there's some good humor in there as well. This absolutely blew us away, and I would encourage everyone watching to go and take a look at this. And if you are a teacher and you do want to be teaching sorting algorithms, go fork this, stick it in Teams for EDU, and share it with your students, because honestly, it is a wonderful way of engaging people in something that is quite difficult to visualize, because the visualization is floating around there in front of the code, and we can bring it up to check we are doing exactly what we think it should be doing. Amazing, amazing work there from Apollo Crew 6 that got first place in the tutorial jam. Now, all of these, as some of you did point out, are on replit.com/learn. If you scroll down, you'll see we've got all these things tagged with tutorial jam winners here. Here's our sorting algorithms, Flappy Brick, Intro to JS, and all of our special mentions are there as well. To all and to everyone that entered, thank you so much for taking the time and effort to put things together. I hope seeing the winners, you've seen some amazing stuff, and you might be tempted to spend some of today going and learning about JavaScript, or making a Flappy Brick game, or finding out all about sorting algorithms in a really, really nice way. We were very impressed, and most of us judging this are educators or teachers, or ex-teachers in my case, but who have a passion for getting these concepts taught in a really neat way. Well-deserving winners. And now, if you fancy learning something new, pop to that Learn page. Congratulations to everyone. It was really well done. I will be reaching out in the next few days via email to let you all know that you've won formally, and to give you the details of how we'll go about claiming your prize. But brilliant stuff. Now, we do have a quick questions in the chat here. I'm going to bring it up from Tech Panda Pro, who is one of our special mention winners. Tech Panda, I think you can probably answer this yourself, to be honest. You've said, if we have any questions about making good tutorials, is there somewhere we can reach out? Certainly. The best place to do it would be on ask.replit.com. The member of staff that runs that is Ian. Ian is a current teacher. He currently teaches, so he's a great person to ask. But also, I and Brittany and many other members of staff that are interested in this sort of stuff frequent those forums. It'd be a great place to go to ask questions and see what's going on there. But honestly, Tech Panda, your tutorial was fantastic. It was brilliant. You've got a good idea about what makes a good one and how things are going there. Now, in terms of these tutorials, go grab them, go see them. We've only published the ones that won awards. The rest of the couple of dozen that we had are sitting in our submissions folder that we've all had a look at and thought and graded. So thank you very much for those submissions, but we won't be sharing all of them, just the top. And I just want to point out that before we do go today, there is another event almost immediately after this. In fact, I think it starts in about 15 minutes from one of our reps, which is called Exploring Esoteric Languages with LOL Code, which does sound like a decent bit of fun. There's a lot of events that we do in the community team. Our reps put a big spread of programming on, and we run some as well. For the teachers in the audience, on Monday, we're having a special pedagogy session with Jenna de Boisblanc, who's a teacher who specializes in creative coding. She runs her coding curriculum through the arts faculty in her school, and it changes the way in which programming is taught, and it changes the way in which people use it. So we've got that on Monday, and we've got another one today. Dylan, we've got 2 more events today. Has another one gone up without me noticing? Well, apologies. Should we have a quick look and see what they are? Because it's really important that we know where that is. On community tab, we do have our community hub now, which is where all the new stuff in is. No, just me and the esoteric languages. But if you go to this page and you click on that, and of course, one thing that people forget is this is scrollable, this list. So there's a bunch of stuff on there. I think it's mainly mine that are coming up there. But please do go and have a look. I'll pull up because Dylan knows a bit more about it than me. With Vern in 15 minutes, intermediate HTML and CSS in 1 hour 15. Oh, sorry, Dylan, we don't seem to have yours on the community hub then. Let me, I'm not sure if anybody would be there to help me push that out today to put it on there. But sorry about that. If you do notice that we haven't put it on there, do drop a message to me or Nella, and we'll make sure things are on there. Discord events, good point. Discord events, yes. We'll have a look at that as well. Have I got my Discord up? Because Discord events are pretty cool as well, because it's a good place to go. Here we go. And in Discord, where is the events list? Here we go. So yeah, oh, there you go. There it is. Yes. So as well as the community hub, we've also got our Discord's event where we do pop those in. Any community ones are often put there as well. So go and take a look at all those places if you want to find out where we're going. We're trying to make sure the community hub is the source of truth for all the events that we've got coming up. So if you do want to check there, as well as finding links to all our community spaces for builders, learners, and educators, so you know exactly where to go if you want to communicate with other like-minded people or find out a little bit more. Well, that's it from me. Thank you so much to everyone that entered. Thank you to everyone that watched this stream today. It was just me and a few guests. So you've listened to me talk for the best part of 45 minutes. Thank you very much for having that staying power. We'll be doing some more jams in future, so do stay tuned. And please keep your eye on that Learn page. Replit.com/learn will be turning into something much better over the coming months and weeks. And in the next few weeks, we're going to have collaborators like Bloomtech and some others publishing not just tutorials, but courses on there that initially will be free. So go and take a look at those and get involved. Find out all the cool stuff to learn about. I myself, I'm going to spend the rest of the day having a look at building a game in Pygame. I'm going to build Flappy Brick for myself. Thank you, everyone else, and thank you to our winners. It's been a fantastic event, and we really appreciate the time you've put into submitting your work. Bye, guys.